what are some of the go-to brands we have at the Hashknife Ranch?
You mean buy brands that you would buy or stay away
Yeah,
from?
here, I'll
Or
give you a great example, right? I love my Wrangler jeans. I
oh
also love Wrangler, or not Wrangler, Ariat boots. I have a pair of Justins, they're okay, but I noticed that the soles fall apart faster than my Ariats. My
hmm.
Ariats have also lasted for years and years and years with minimal care. I know you love your Keyston saddle. I also love your Keyston saddle. Grandpa had a Keyston saddle. There's some brands that when we say them at the ranch, we're like, oh, yeah, Carhartt. Braden and I practically live in Carhartt pants 24/7, 365. What are some of the brands that are go-tos for us? I just said mine. So, like, what are some of yours and why?
Yeah, Winchester, Remington, Weatherby,
Okay.
uh, Smith and Wesson's always good. Glock is a fine piece of uh,
Okay, you want to get out
instrumentation.
of the Second Amendment into something
Yeah,
else?
well, I mean, you asked. Wranglers for me, yeah, they got more room into my thigh for when I'm riding, and um, I boots, same thing. That boots change, and some of these brands also change. Sometimes you'll have a brand that's really good. A brand that when I was a kid called Acme was a really good brand of boot that was a reasonable price, and something happened. They were sold, and you don't hear of Acme boots anymore.
Yeah.
So Nakona was a good boot. They kind of went south a little bit.
Well, and I'll
Uh,
say for shirts too, like work shirts. I love my
yeah,
long sleeve t-shirt Carhartt shirts because they can
yeah.
tear those up. They're relatively inexpensive. I don't care. These shirts, I like my cinch and Ariat shirts. I'm actually not a Wrangler shirt fan. I like my Wrangler pants, but I don't like Wrangler shirts.
Yeah. I I don't know. This is a Wrangler
That's
shirt, and
Wrangler.
I like it. It's a heavier one. Yeah, this is a good winter time, and it's cold outside right now.
Yeah.
In the mornings, pretty cool. So I'm usually, in a vest that's a Outback. I like Outback. Really good, solid stuff. Kind of on par with Carhartt, only
Yeah.
more water repellent.
Yeah.
Um, as far as hats, I've got straw hats are some reasonable brands that are Bailey's a decent brand. Stetson's always, tends to be a decent one. Um, as far as felt hats, I go custom made. We got some really, really good hat makers in the area, and you know what? They're local. I'll stand behind it, type of attitude behind it too. So, yeah, you know, there can be really good brands though. You got to just watch if they get sold or something starts to go south on them. Shirts are a big one. I haven't bought a shirt in 30 some years because your mother always, from the time we were dating, she started buying shirts for me because the way she puts it, I didn't have any color in my life. So she started buying shirts with color, and she continues to. And she's went with another brand here that I just got the other day. So um well, I've yet to wear the shirt. I've tried it on, but then she washed it, and so we'll see how it goes.
It is
But
funny because
those are all gloves. Gloves are a big one too.
yeah. But I was gonna say for shirts, it's funny because mom tried to help me find some shirts one day and she asked what I liked. I told her, she goes, "You're the exact opposite of your father." It's like you like the snaps. I hate snaps because they
Yeah, I
come
like
undone too
snaps.
easy. I like
Yeah,
buttons. I like things that are hard to come out of. I
yeah,
think that's part of my current career, unfortunately, is where
yeah,
that came from. But yeah, it's just certain things. Like Wrangler pants, Ariat or cinch shirts, unless it's work, and then it's Carhartt shirts, and
yeah.
then Carhartt everything. I love Carhartt when it comes to work clothes. So
Yeah, I like Carhartt when I do wear them, but I rarely, it's got to be pretty damn cold for me to put on a pair of coveralls. But when I've got a pair of
yeah,
coveralls on, it's cold.
yeah,
I mean, you know how hot blooded I am like that. But the gloves are another one. Cold weather gloves. We use a lot of those monkey face, those yellow. Um, Kinko makes some. There's different brands, but for a leather glove, it's hard to find a good leather glove anymore. Wells Lamont used to make a really good glove, and God, they were tough. A little stiff, but they were tough, and it's hard to find a really good quality glove now. There's Kinko's another one. They make leather gloves, and unfortunately, a lot of these box stores are selling whatever is the cheapest
Hmm.
because it's to the consumer, and the consumer's buying, whatever they can afford. And so some of those low end gloves are what's predominant. You don't see sometimes some of the better gloves, and that's unfortunate. And again, a glove is like a boot to me. I got to put my hand in that thing and make sure I can't just buy them over the internet or something. That would be a wreck. So that's another one.
Well, that's some of our go-to brands on the ranch.